If you've been watching my channel lately in the last few days, um, you'll see quite a bit of arguing going on. And a lot of this argument doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I had posted a video on Event Horizons, and this girl felt the need to make this video and tell me how wrong I was and that I should know about this Illuminati. I've known about this for more than 20 years and nobody listened to me. She had told me, uh, recommended that shamans used to put a mirror on their head, so if anybody came to them, uh, they could see themselves, because how you're viewing the world is actually coming from self. And yet, every time she was judging me and criticizing me, I kept asking her, kind of look at yourself, kind of look at your own mirror. And then she said it was all crap, that was just a way of me not listening to her. If I kept using this concept, it would be a way of me blocking out any information that she was trying to push onto me. And then she made the suggestion that she was only trying to help me. And then she spent a great deal of time researching me, found out I was on the Dragon's Den, and then posted on my channel that everybody should go to her channel to see how she's trying to make a fool out of me. Yet she, in her mind, is trying to help me in some way. She was also suggesting that I was out for attention, yet she was asking people that are on my channel to go over to her channel and look at her make a fool out of me. My moral to the story is I'm not her enemy. But yet she wants to perceive me as her enemy. And the moral to my story is that we're kind of going crazy. We're kind of getting this mad cow disease. And yes, you're looking at this Illuminati, and we're starting to wake up to a lot of truths, and that we're being controlled. And um, we also have this Mayan calendar that's suggesting this big wake up, or else it'll be the destruction of man. And we're not quite understanding what's going on yet. And I've done an awful lot of research. I think I know a little bit about something. And one thing I know for sure is while we are into this truth stage, it's going to create a lot of madness. And this madness, um, first you're going to be really, really angry, and then you're going to want to push what you've learned to be true on other people. And your anger is going to, instead of helping anybody else out, what you're doing is creating as many enemies as possible, which is kind of the goal of the Illuminati. It's like, don't worry about what they're doing to you. It's like, look at what we're doing to each other. And as long as we're fighting with each other, it's going to cause a lot of chaos, a lot of friction, and no communication is actually going to be experienced. Now, from my study of this Mayan calendar, there's cycles, there's patterns, there's a lot of science that even explains what these patterns are. We've gone through this path many times before, and we've left hints for ourselves so that we can get through this. And like, there's no question that this is a test, and it's a matter of, can we pass this test or repeat the same patterns over and over again? The last time we went through this cycle, they didn't pass the test. So, it's do we spend all of these thousands of years waiting for this moment in 2012 just to fail again? or do we want to pass this test? And part of passing that test is to sort of recognizing what's true and what isn't true, and to have the conversation. And part of what I know is everything appears in our reality to be based on what our belief systems are. What you believe to be true is how you're going to create your reality. It's how you're going to develop your patterns. It's how you're going to communicate with each other. So I'm suggesting that we change our belief systems. Um, it's not about, hey, follow me. That seems to be a pattern where we get these leaders and we follow the leader, and ultimately that makes a massive ego and power, and ultimate power corrupts all, perfectly. So it's not about finding the leader that knows all of the information. It's about how we each tap into our own information and tap into that correctly. We are all vessels of information. And look at it from the perspective that we are going into this black hole, and there are event horizons, and it's how you handle yourself while you're going into this event. Do you want to be angry? Because while you're angry, you're not tapping into your information that you need. You have a responsibility to share what you know. And you have to realize that everything we know to be true is actually false. At the same time, you do have some truthful information. So you need to learn how to distinguish between what is true information to believe into and what's false information to believe. And we all have to have this universal conversation with each other. I think the healthiest thing to be doing is start admitting you're wrong. That, if everything that we know is actually false, we can't start the conversation by saying, hey, I'm right. So if every one of us can say, hey, I could be wrong, but this is what I know for sure, and do it from a peaceful perspective, then we can put the pieces of the puzzle together of how united we can be to overcome the challenges that we're going to be facing. So I could be wrong, but it does appear that all of our reality stems from our beliefs. And it's, what do you want to believe in? Do you want to believe in perfect health? So I would suggest that everything that we do, whatever opinions we want to believe in, does that result in perfect health for every human being on the planet? I believe we're all about love. I believe we're all about supporting each other. So any opinions that we have should support and unite the whole. I've also noticed that good intentions are one of the most harmful things going. That as soon as you come up with something that you think needs, help other people, that is the wrong way to go about doing things. Look at yourself. If you have a problem and need help, don't you know what you need? Shouldn't you ask for what you need? And then wouldn't ultimate helping you means that person's able to give you what it is you need? So giving somebody your impression of what they need doesn't appear to be the right thing. Finding out what you need appears to be better, and asking for society to give you what it is you need seems to be a lot more beneficial. It doesn't have to be a rough ride. It just means we need to calm down and start the conversation. I also believe this UFO thing is, there's a lot of information there, but I don't believe that there's anything out there that's going to save you. Otherwise, they would. This is all coming from us. Crop fields are coming from us. We are doing this to ourselves, and we need to start having that conversation to find out truth. Much love.